Hello and welcome to the Almost World Backup Day edition of the Veeam Community Recap. This is episode 159. That's a lot. And wicked, both of us are in normal circumstances. How are you doing today, Madalena?
Hello, Rick, and hello, everyone. I'm doing great back home, as you said, as you noticed, after a super successful Veeam user group in Germany. We were in Frankfurt last week, and that was really, really great. I was so impressed. And how are you? You were on vacation. Tell us about that.
Actually, I'm still on vacation. I
Oh my
actually
God,
am
I
out
can't
today
believe
too.
it.
No, I mean, they're paying me anyways. I might as well just come on in, Long story on that line of that
Okay.
actually really happened to me. No, I'm World Backup Day. I got this stream and then we got the other one. It's an important day kind of coming on in. And I just showed you the picture a second ago, but I was crawling through big caves here in the US. I love caves. I don't know why. Every time our family goes on a vacation, we go to caves. So this is our spring break, and it was been a very nice day and week so far. We went pretty far into these caves. Like we walked 2 miles into a cave.
Wow.
I mean, that's how big this cave is. It has over 425 miles, so around 600 kilometers of distance in this cave. And for the
Yeah.
viewers in the US, this is Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. And it's such a big cave. And it's very different than other caves like that are wet and the drippy. It's
Mhm.
not like that. Most of it isn't like that. So but if you like caves, yeah, it's fantastic. So we did some hikes, did some caves, some family time, camping.
That's cool. That's
It was
good.
cool.
So
It's
you are
very
refreshed now.
I'm refreshed. It'll be over by
That's
tomorrow.
that's
But
amazing.
yeah, we'll see. But
Well, hopefully not that fast, Rick.
well, it doesn't take long. But guess what? You have curated a massive list of content that the community doesn't stop, and we have like something overflowing here. But let's jump into it. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, Michael Paul actually has a World Backup Day post around SLAs and exceeding them. I love this, but what caught your eye on this one?
Yeah, so this is a really great post from Michael Paul. We haven't mentioned him in a while, at least not in the recap. And he's discusses service level agreement, RPO and RTO. And I really like his perspective in here. There are actually two paragraphs that really draw my attention. The first one is not there. The first one, he says, like in data protection, most of the times we stop at the border of acceptable, but do we consider the fault tolerance? So I really kind of like that paragraph in there. He says, think about an unexpected power cut or a server crashes or like anything, a backup repository is low on space and the backup fails, then you have violated your SLA. But then he also says, hey, there are solutions that can actually help you mitigate that risk. Instead, why don't you just consider halving your backup intervals and thereby doubling your backup frequency with incremental backup? And this won't take as long and won't result in much higher data consumption. So basically you've got half of the time defined within your SLA to resolve the issue instead. So I kind of really, really like that. And then the second one is basically his conclusion that I really liked it. And he says, well, we know that all companies would want to do more with less, but try to always align your expectations with reality as part of your risk management plan. Therefore, he gives uh, just before the conclusion, he's actually giving us some practical advice on how to have a good risk management plan. And yeah, this I think it's a really really great article, and I really like these 2 points that he made in it. What did you like about it?
Well, I mean, I was reading as you were summarizing, and yeah, this is fantastic. And I like that this designed overachieve of the RTOs and RPLs or the SLAs, the agreements, the expectations that the business has, because usually when you have to engage these plans, there's very few times that it's exactly as you plan, if that makes any sense. So having
Mhm.
these other workarounds in play are actually really, really smart. So I love that advice here, Michael, throwing some CDP love in there. That's always good. And much like the series from Jay Mex here, a couple times that the book he's writing basically,
Mhm.
Michael, your advice here is really good because it doesn't really lock you into any specific product, and I really like that. And of course, Veeam can help here, but no, this is a really good way to look at it. And we have not called his name recently, but
And
it's not quite Michael Who, but it's no, it's good to call his name again.
and then you have the second one
Oh,
that
that's right.
he's
Yeah,
mentioning. Don't forget to
yeah,
highlight that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
and always have a backup. World Backup Day post is the way I'd look at that. So, thank you for sharing both of those, Michael. All right, this one's cool. This one caught my eye as well. Carrie is up with migrating a physical machine to a Hyper-V cluster P2V. This is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if this is the first time that we are mentioning Carrie or the
No, we've
second
called Carrie a
time.
few times. I feel like we've
Did
called
we?
him.
I think
I
he
don't know.
he was very active in the community, and that might just make us think that we mentioned his article, but I'm not
Or
sure
maybe
about
I've
it.
got Vanguard renewals in my head, and his personal blog has a lot there. I can't remember, but he's
Yeah.
definitely a friendly for sure.
But anyway, welcome to the recap. Just in case you were not mentioned previously, it's great to have you. And yeah, this, like recently he made it to the legend. He's a Vanguard, as you said, and he made it to the legend as well. So that's great. Nice job, Carrie. But what he's talking about here is like he says, if you're planning to move from a physical machine to a virtual machine, this is one way to do it. And then he's presenting a demo on how to migrate a physical to virtual machine P2V using Veeam backup and replication. And you have a lot of print screens there with all steps, but I will only go through some steps in here. And he said, like, first, step install Veeam agent on the physical machine, then create a temporary backup job. He's using instant recovery to restore the backup to the target host. And he says, like, this can be super important during recovery as it actually minimizes disruption to production workloads. So for anyone that is trying to, migrate from physical to virtual, I think this would be a very, very helpful post. And I know you have some thoughts on it as well.
I do, and I love that he's kind of built this protection group really for the case of P2V. And the part that I like a lot is really right here where it's instant recovery. Okay. So basically, once that system is a backup file under Veeam, we can instant recover it to Hyper-V. And it walks through, and this looks like a storage space is direct. He's blurring out the host names, but register it as a cluster resource. Very good idea. Veeam will do that for you, which is nice. And boom, this system will map its network, its storages, and more, and be ready to go as a Hyper-V virtual machine. And yes, this is the most important part. Remember that an instant recovery is temporary, and you must finalize it. Those who are watching this is the number one tech support case for instant recovery technologies is people not finalizing it, moving the storage to the production. I mean, the backup stays there, I should say, reinstantiating it over in the primary storage. So always think about that. And once it's done, then you start backing it up as a Hyper-V virtual machine. And Carrie has not missed a beat here. And then, yes, close the loop, uninstall the agent. And by the way, um, he's doing this way where you're uninstalling the agent explicitly, but if you have your protection group to exclude virtual machines, it'll not redeploy it. And then secondly, you could uninstall it explicitly from the protection group, or you could go back into the system. So you have some options, but I also think this is super relevant for other people kind of reconsidering their platform decisions right now. It's this
Mm-hmm.
easy to migrate to Hyper-V, to Nutanix, to the cloud, to Azure, to AWS. Great post, Carrie. Very relevant. Thanks for sharing for sure. All right. Now, next up is a name we were thinking, we were talking, we don't think we've called this name, but Jonathan, one of the vanguards from Puerto Rico. Welcome to the recap, Jonathan. An as built report. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. So welcome, Jonathan, to to the recap. And I don't think I saw Jonathan posting a lot in the community. So it's great to see you doing that. Hopefully we'll see him more often. Now, as I said it, like I'm not super familiar with this subject, but it looks like a project that deserves to be mentioned. Jonathan has been working on this project for a while related to diagramming the Veeam infrastructure. And in the new version of the as-built report, Veeam VB365, he added the ability to create a simple diagram of the deployed VB365 components, and as tools, he's using Graphics and the PS Graph module to generate the diagram. But now I would like to, hear more about it. If you know more about it, Rick, I'm sure you do. So it would be
Well,
interesting to hear your opinion on
I,
it.
I see the output here, and I like a number of things. From one, it's pulling in some of the licensing information, right? And backed up, right? Which is good, right? And then secondly, some of the URLs are documented, the versions, the ports, maybe those are changing, right? So this is the type of stuff, when you look at it this way, is a lot more practical to architects and then support people who are going to support what's been built. A couple of different port things here, proxy names, server names, storage allocations, loving this. Good stuff. It's super, and then object storages as well, and the type and the where and all of that. So this is, in my opinion, Jonathan, super helpful when it comes to um, documenting a design. So I know that, Jonathan's a practitioner deploying these types of solutions and stuff. So having this type of, design doc at the ready is really cool. In addition to what, Veeam backup for Microsoft 365 will provide, as well as Veeam 1. So awesome, and hope to call your name more on the recaps.
Absolutely, yeah. And then he's asking the community if
Uh,
if they can help,
yeah.
like with testing and reporting any bugs. So it would be really cool if people that have some experience with this product would actually go and use his script.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, especially tricky, complicated environments or some that have like really specific shapes, see if it works, shaping like network components and things like that. So great stuff. Thank you. Yeah, Chris will give it a whirl. Um, he's also ooh, what little preview, doing it from BNR as well. Look at that. Look at that. I'm not logged in because I don't want to blow the secrets on the next thing. But that's awesome, Jonathan. Thank you so much for sharing. Indeed, hope to call your name more. All right. Now, one of the things that people who know a lot about Veeam, is they get certified. And the VMCE and the VMCA are two credentials that we hold. And now we have study hall, which is like a study group.
Yeah.
Is that the best way to explain it? Like individuals preparing and sharing to take these credentials for both VMCE and VMCA. Shane's a leader, Jeff's a leader, and this is really
Mhm.
cool because they are different courses, they are different tests. You need the VMCE to get the VM to be eligible for the VMCA, but this is awesome. I'm excited for this.
Absolutely. Same in here. I'm super excited about it. And we really appreciate that, this initiative came actually from Jeff. So, it's just like organic from the community. And that's what I love the most when, people are coming up with ideas. Why don't we have this group? Like, because I saw people are super interested in this subject. Why don't we have a dedicated group for that? So, yeah, first of all, thank you for the idea, Jeff. And yeah, we kind of decided to split it and have like two leaders for each of the groups, like one leader for each of the group, because Obviously, as we discussed it, these are like two separate exams, separate, subjects. So it's kind of better to have it like this. And, the goal of these groups is to help one another prepare for the exams. Tips and tricks. There are going to be some virtual events in here where you can ask your questions. There are going to most probably be invited some of our trainers, technical trainers. So this is going to be cool, and I'm really looking forward to see the evolution of it.
Yeah, me too. And I'm so much of a squirrel, Madalena, squirrel, that I'm sitting here looking, okay, the clocks are the same time. This one has the book down a level. The other one has the book up higher. The T is pale purple now. The T is green with the blue. And the cat Alfred's in the same place, but the building changes a little bit. Oh my gosh, I just can't stop. Like, you remember in the US there was this book. It was like, find the differences between the two
Yeah,
pictures.
yeah, yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, that's what I'm doing. So I am like, sorry, I need to be acting my age and my role here, but I am super happy because when it comes to VMCE and VMCA, I need to upgrade because I took the very first VMCE and I passed it with no preparation, but I don't know if I would now. So I need to, maybe I'll start with study hall. But the thought here is that this is a great way for those that are going to go on the journey, and we have a VMCE experience at Veeam. I can't remember what it is. I think there's even testing on site. Don't quote me on that. But now that Veeam is getting close, this is a good resource as well to help share and prepare. Thank you, Shane, who has the VMCE, and Shane also has the VMCA, by the way. He has both. And
Yeah,
then Jeff, I think, has both credentials as well.
I'm sure
So
he has because he
yeah,
has so many. So
yes, Jeff has he's like the 12-fingered human, like six-fingered
yeah,
cats. He's a 12, he's got his fingers in everything. Bad,
exactly.
bad. I'm never gonna live that one down. Awesome, Jeff. Awesome, Shane. Thank you both for leading those two groups on the community. And speaking of community, and speaking of Jeff, we've got something coming up on Kubernetes Corner.
Yes. So basically, Jeff, like he's running, as you know, not only VMCA, but also he's the leader of Kubernetes Corner. And coming next on April 2nd, we have a virtual show where Jeff talks to Michael Cade about Michael's project, 90 Days of DevOps. It's been running for months already, and I think it's going to end at least to the 2024 edition. It's going to be finished at the end of April, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm really curious to learn from Michael how this project went. What are some, like learnings, conclusions? Is he going to do it again next year? Um, like future plans. So I think this was kind of big, and it was like a lot of members of the community of the Veeam 100 program were kind of participating in it. So I'm really looking forward to hear on what did they discuss, like what were some topics, who was invited, like how many people joined those webinars, like a lot of things like that. So that's going to be very interesting, especially if he's going to do it again. I think it's going to be interested for the people that want to participate in to find out on how they can do it. So let's see how that's going to go, but hopefully more people are going to register for it. You should register, Rick.
I
Oh,
there's a
cool.
chance I'm not traveling, but there's a chance I can attend. I will check. Two things. One, Michael has done an absolutely fantastic job with 90 days of DevOps. And I haven't been in a while, but you can see I was browsing through that you'll see like the different years, right? So the 2023 kind of edition, the 24 edition. And if you are wanting, whoa, don't cheat, don't blow the cover. If you were wanting to get into this, in fact, I went through, I didn't finish. most of his 2022 edition. If you want to learn some Kubernetes and stuff, again, we've talked about it a number of times. Michael's done a fantastic job. Secondly, Michael took one piece of my advice, and so I'm all happy about that. The advice that Michael took was that if you ever learn something, share it, write it down, get it in it, get it out there. And he was
Absolutely.
always bringing some of it into our community hub, but for this audience, for this technology, it made sense to put it in GitHub. And let's just say he's like GitHub famous right now. So thank you, Michael. Thank you, Jeff.
He's
Look forward to that.
Twitter famous,
Yeah,
LinkedIn famous, everywhere
exactly.
famous.
Exactly. So he's owned it and he deserves the kind of the credibility he's received in that space. We should call him like 90 90 Days Cade or something. Actually, weird thing. In the little campground I was in, it used to be a town called Cade. I need to talk to him about that.
Oh my
But anyway, it's all
goodness.
ghost town situation. So, anyways, no, great job, Michael and Jeff, teaming up for this one. We'll definitely have a link of the recording in the YouTube playlist for Veeam community events.
Absolutely. Like
But
all
if
of the events
yeah,
are there. In case you missed anything, just
yeah,
go and check it out.
indeed, indeed. Awesome. All right, now Maddie, you're up with something special, and you asked for stories, and guess what you got? You got
Oh, a
stories.
lot of stories. Yes, look at that. I love it. It's like a playlist, honestly.
Yeah, right.
So basically, this month, we had like a special edition for Blog of the Month dedicated to World Backup Day. And yes, there are so many stories. We selected like not six as we usually do, but like I decided to put them all in there because I thought all of them deserve to be, like in the poll and get
Yeah.
like the chance to win a $100 voucher, get a special badge, as well as the recognition on all our social media, Veeam social media, as the blogger of the month. So just help us go there, vote for it. You have left a couple of days. March 31st, which is Sunday, I believe, is the deadline. So yeah, just help us vote for the best. I mean, yeah, from my point of view, they all deserve it, but like let's just vote and see who is the best on our community's eyes.
I'll tell you this. This is just a group of rock stars. They're all super engaged, always have different experiences. Some, I hate to use the word regulars in the blog of the month conversation, but we also have some new ones. And I love having just the choices. So I am intentionally not logged in. I haven't voted yet, but once you're logged in, you can kind of see some of the trending results. But I'm going to log in and vote here myself. So
Yeah, you
good
should
luck.
vote.
Well, I just got back from holiday. Come on, give me a break, boss. Man. Anyways,
Okay, but
next
yeah,
up, next up. So a lot of these members here are V100 members. And speaking of which, next week we have our next V100 show where we're going to be talking about advanced scanning and techniques using scripts and automation and all of this stuff. I mean, I think that's super important. It's really one of those sharpshooting type of low level things that when you need it, it really, really helps from especially if I look at, to an extent, Michael and Stefan's practices, they both have similar things where they really want to tune something really good before they, hand it over. So anything you can do to get things, performing better or, more efficient is great. And I can't make this one. I'll be at an event for that one. But nonetheless, same story. It'll be on the YouTube playlist. So
absolutely. I'm actually looking forward to this one because both like Michael and Stefan, they are super knowledgeable and they know, like they are also good presenters and they know their PowerShell, the code, and they are very good with scripts. And like the people that are active in the community, they kind of already know like how passionate Stefan is about all those scripts, and that he's always sharing with us stuff on the Yara and script section, and he has a full repository, a GitHub of amazing scripts that help with automation, help like with efficiency. So I'm sure this is going to be great, really great. So
Yeah,
don't miss it out, just go
right.
and register.
And Stefan goes by Steve Hart on the
Yes,
community. I should kind of
yes,
bridge that. And I think he got a new role.
he did, but
Yeah.
he's still an MVP.
Well,
So
he's in that kind of weird zone where it's,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And,
like
but,
let's have it for this year,
hmm
kind of thing.
hmm but anyways, he's definitely a friendly, let's say it that way. And then Michael, oh, we like Michael too. And then be hosted by Cassandra on our team from Product Strategy. So join this if you can. The playlist, the recording will be up soon after. But thank you, Michael and Stefan as well, because that'll be fun. So thanks for sharing that. Now, are you ready to flip it around 180 degrees?
Let's go for it.
All right.
This is
So
exciting.
now there's two awesome people I know that are going to be given a webinar about community. And, Madalena, tell me what this is all about.
So basically, Safia and myself got invited by Gainsight, who is like, the platform that we are using for community, a community hub. We were invited to discuss about community engagement, and we are going to talk about the awesome things that we are doing, and like how our like about our programs, the Veeam 100, about user group strategies on how to keep community engaged, and so many more other things. And I think this should be a good show, and like I just want to ask the people that in the community to join us, and like to support us on this amazing webinar that is going to take place on April 4th, same day as the Veeam 100 show. So I'm super excited, that, and I want to thank Gainsight for inviting us to like to speak about Veeam community.
Yeah, I won't be able to
So
attend this one live, but I will see if I can maybe just listen with one ear. I'm supposed to be having a customer lunch at that time. But
yeah,
main thing
but the
is,
good thing is like
yeah,
you can always go, and there is an on demand. If you just go
ah,
down on the page, you're gonna see like the rest of the webinars. There were two
mhm.
so far, I
Oh,
believe,
there we go.
and you can always just go and
Yeah, yeah,
rewatch it
there we
basically.
go.
So that shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, I think this is gonna be good. And yeah, we need our community support in there because we are going to talk about our community. So yeah, this is something different from what we usually do, but it's
Yeah,
good, right?
yeah, and I got to say a big thank you to both you, Sophia, and really others across Veeam who execute our community strategy. Um, we work really hard at this, and yourself, Sophia, Nicola, really dedicated to that on our team. And then within the rest of the product strategy team, like myself and it spreads around, quite a bit. We all kind of have a moment, like a hand in it, but really especially our community hub, you and Sophia, that you guys, you both of you ladies really drive it. So this is a great way to elevate both of you and share your best practices. Because trust me, when I was talking and the prior manager was talking to Madalena 2+ years ago, so this is what we're going to do. Nobody has experience in this stuff. We just kind of figure it out as we go,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
in fact, the joke I have now is, so what does your family think you do, Sophia? And they don't know. Because it's like, well, how do you explain tech community to people that don't understand technology, much less technology communities? And I don't know if you have that same problem. It's like,
It's a complex, yeah, it's a
yeah,
complex story, and it's difficult to explain it to people, as you said, like they don't really know technology, they don't understand necessarily. I mean, they might know technology, but like, what's the level where they stop,
Right. And what is a
understanding? It's
technology
just like,
community?
yeah, and then
But yeah,
exactly, what does it really mean, community? It's difficult even for some people that actually know technology to understand what community is. They think, some people think like, oh, that's marketing, and
right. Yeah, and the crazy thing is that when I've seen the Veeam community kind of be born and grow, and when I started, it was strong but small. Now it's strong but big, and that's a whole different conversation. And we still have who's new. I just got to open it up real quick. That's why I stopped the share. It's one of those things that, community, everybody finds their own way. And, we talked last week how Jeff is launching a community program as well. And
Mhm.
it'll be small but strong, right? And then when you have a strong community that's big, you also have people that aren't like that, those highly elevated ones, like what we call Veeam 100. But in the webinar that you and Sophia are going to give, one key thing, peer to peer, that is a very, very good sign of healthy community. And,
Exactly.
I could rant on this all day long, but I remember John Troyer used to say the number one rule of community is simply just being present, right? So you gotta be present to win. You gotta be present to play. And so we've got all of that going well, and really happy that you and Sophia can get a chance to share
Absolutely.
share your
I would say
perspective.
that that rule applies in everything. Like, be present if you want to win. It's not only
Yeah,
community, but
that's
yeah,
true. That's true.
definitely. Like, it's really important. Those conversations, one-to-one conversations, you can imagine how much that matter,
Oh yeah,
and that makes the difference.
100%. All right. Sophia is up with who's new, and we are rocking plus 112, and that rhymes. I do that on World Backup Day shows. And I am so grateful that the community, again, healthy, strong, still going strong here. A couple fun ones in here. Laureline, I like that. That might be like a chemical. Sounds interesting. Energy, Cesar, Kid Lark. That's cool. Um,
Oh my.
Wally from Scality. Yo, what's up? Um, Scott Kimball, Object First. That's pretty smart, Scott, putting the company name in there. Oh, ouch. Oh no, I'm not even gonna say it. No, no. But whatever. You're still welcome here. But okay. Anyways, some if you know, you know. All right, let's move on quickly before I
Okay.
get into trouble. Coolest usernames according to Sophia are Stano Dot, Butler to Go, All Mind, and Shadow Mike. I like Shadow Mike. That's pretty cool. Actually,
Yeah. Original.
I didn't look to see what her pick was. If she picked that one
Let's see. She
as Alfred's
might
pick,
have.
I
She
might have to
might.
like rewrite the recording in history, but I am
She
no,
did.
she
She
did.
did.
She did. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I don't know if we're going to badge it. We might have to. We're going to have to go deep into the rules of community operations, and I'm going to quickly stop my share because I am blushing big time. Oh,
Oh, well, it is what it is.
you know
We
what? Let's
picked
play
it.
the game. Let's play the game. I'm going to stick to the plan. I don't have a rule on community about competition and the like, but let's just see. I might creep and see who that individual is first. So all things are subject to kind of additional consideration. But
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with an open community, right?
yeah,
Versus a closed community. So sometimes I was actually talking to Safia about it just before we started this
yeah,
recording about, you know, open community versus closed community. And we were like, sometimes you just take the risks, but we did not know about that. See?
right,
So,
right. I know the competition and the market well, but the community team, it's a different focus, right? And but then also I just earlier in the conversation with Michael's post, I said, Michael, your advice here transcends all products, right? So in the spirit of community, true, we should be welcoming kind of all perspectives. Now, if we get into FUD slinging, that's not going to happen here on our community property. But anyways, blush over. I'll move on. But Maddie, thank you so much for rocking out the content this week. And I got to go because I'm up on another call, but we will be live later today with the World Backup Day stream. Until then, we'll see you next week.